Hey guys, and welcome to another polymer clay tutorial sponsored by the Imperium. Today we will create this Stormtrooper. And this deep voice is not from a cold, I just want to impress Darth Vader.
ClayClaim.
A deep voice, cough and a red nose. This is so beautiful. I'm lying in the bed right now while doing this voiceover, and the next 20 minutes we will watch this video. The Stormtrooper from Star Wars, of course. But initially I saw this skin in Fortnite and decided that now is a good time to create him, because many of you requested this skin from the original Star Wars series, and I love these a lot. Back in the days when I was a child, together with my brother, we built the uniform of Stormtroopers just with cardboard, white cardboard, and it was just an amazing time. I really loved that. And I have another very strong memory about Stormtroopers. There was this computer game, well, it was more like an encyclopedia. And within this computer program you could do some weapon tests using Stormtroopers as the victims, and it was hilarious. You could throw some stones at the Stormtroopers like the Ewoks did, or you could use the Death Star laser and so on, and I really loved that. I could spend hours just trying all the different weapons. Back to the creation, well, not back, going to the creation for the first time. You see me coating the wire with white clay, and this is a huge accident. I thought it would be a nice idea to just remove the clay at these parts, at the knees for example, at these gaps, and that I would just fill in the black clay, and this would be a very short video. But then I saw that I totally screwed up. All the white clay on the body got black marks on it, and all the gaps filling with black clay didn't look quite nice, and I decided to go the extra mile to create this character as it should be created. There is a black base layer. Even Stormtroopers in real life, if you can say that, they have black underwear. Well, not underwear, but just a black layer of clothes, and over these they put all the white parts of the armor. Hope that makes sense to you. And this is how I decided to create this. So we will create the black Stormtrooper at first, and then after oven hardening we will place all the different armor parts on top, and hopefully this will look amazing. So let's see. Now these are the shoulders. I made a nice tea for myself while lying in the bed right now. So from time to time, this is peppermint, by the way, you will hear me drink my delicious tea. Now with the turtleneck, it looks like more Steve Jobs creation. We need some more black clay. This is the professional Fimo colors. You can also get in the online store, ClayClaim.com. We now have the clay wizard online. This means you can just choose all the different colors you need, either the soft versions or the female professional ones, I decided to create the hands with the female professional ones because this clay is a little bit harder and that the fingers wouldn't break too easily. Well, not break, but that I don't change the shape of them during the course of the creation part. Yeah, these are the fingers. So just roll out a very thin line of black clay, and this is the beloved technique I used for many hands. So we will attach that to the left hand, to the palm. Some more peppermint tea. Could someone get me another peppermint tea, please? This one is almost empty. This is the thumb on the left hand. And, well, I decided to create him just the way he was introduced in Fortnite, with a fist on each side. It would have also been a great idea to create him with a weapon, but for now I decided to create him just like that, because I have some further plans with this sorry, with this Stormtrooper, with this poor guy. Yeah. These are the shoes, the boots. The boots of a Stormtrooper are made for walking. Probably he has to walk a lot during his life on the Death Star. Now the shoes are almost finished. Maybe we should just get them into shape and adding some more layers. Yeah, I think this looks good for now. Especially when creating shoes, I want to make sure that there is enough clay around the wire so that I can shape the clay and cut away all the extra parts which we don't need with the scalpel. Now that the boots, are almost finished, we just cut a very thin layer of black clay. These will be the soles of the shoes. So we place the creation on top, and all we have to do, this is quite easy, we will just cut it out. It's almost like cutting with the scissors on paper, for example. Yeah, maybe we take some further white clay away, that it matches perfectly. So I'm not sure what you think. For me it looks a little bit weird. We have this black turtleneck guy with these white boots, so I can't take him seriously right now. I can't take him serious. Yeah, that's the proper way to say it. And now let's place him onto the plate, and we are ready to go into the oven. Freshly baked turtleneck Stormtrooper. And what's next? Well, now we need a lot of white clay. I'm taking also the Fimo Soft. Oh man, this is just delightful. Thank you for this cup, whoever brought that to me. Now, after we coated the black guy into a very thin layer of white clay, it looks like trousers. But after we will cut the shapes of the armor parts, it will look just like the original Stormtrooper from Star Wars. So be excited. I am excited if it will work the way I think it should work. So let's see. We take the scalpel, remove the very first parts right at the boots, because this is how the armor looks, just like that, at this part. And now I use the blueprint, which is really helpful to see the shape of the creation and also to see where all the different armor parts are coming together, that we can define all the black areas on this creation. And as the base layer, the black part, is already oven hardened, we can easily remove the white layer. Just look at that. It's like peeling off the white layer. It's that easy. Oven hardening is really underestimated. Well, you do this when the creation is finished, but you can also use it for saving your progress so that you don't screw up the parts which you really like of your creation. But it's also like a tool. Right now, for example, that different layers of clay are separating from each other way more easy. On the left leg, well, for us it's the right leg, we have some more what's that? Knee protection. And I can't tell you why this is only on the left knee. Probably because they are kneeing down when they are aiming and are about to shoot. Yeah, probably that's a good explanation. You see right at Star Wars Episode 4, right at the beginning in the starship, you see all these Star Troopers conquering the ship where Princess Leia is on board. And when they are entering and Darth Vader is walking these wide floors within the ship, all these Stormtroopers are kneeling down while aiming with the gun. So this is probably the explanation, very long explanation, why there is extra protection on the left knee. If you know the real reason, if there is a real reason, for that occasion, write it down in the comments. So this is another armor part just between his legs, and this is so characteristic for Stormtroopers. It's already so beautiful that you can see and recognize this creation as a Stormtrooper. Yeah, it's quite amazing. So when was the first time you watched the Star Wars movies? I'm really curious. For me I was probably 12 or 13 years old, and I watched the old ones, of course. And I was so excited when episode 1 was coming out. I know that nowadays people are, I wouldn't say they hate episode 1, but they disagree with it a lot. When I was a child and it came out, you don't really think about, oh, that doesn't make sense, or this is a bad character, nobody will like that guy, he doesn't fit into the Star Wars universe. You just are happy to watch this amazing movie with all these amazing characters and this beautiful, huge story. I was never disappointed by a Star Wars movie, because some things you always have to accept in this universe, and I'm not that guy who really would complain about that. Of course, you have your favorite movies within a series. I'd say it's like in Star Wars and also in other series that you like, some parts more than others. But in the end, this is just a world a creator came up with, and I don't want to disagree with him, with George Lucas in this case. Yeah. These are... Well, this is the only technical part of this skin, and I'm not really sure what this is I am creating right now. It looks nice. You have all these tiny white parts and buttons, and I think there is even a light. I'm not sure about that, but it looks nice in the end. It looks very vulnerable. It's the only part where there is no armor part, and well, the belly looks somehow really vulnerable. These are all the tiny buttons I just talked about. Sorry. Yeah, and well, now that we finished this one, and this is quite important that you create this first, we can add the belt on top. It's a really big belt with all these white parts. I think the gaps are too big. Maybe we should change it a little bit. This is the connection part between the legs and the belt, and we need some more thin layers of white clay to make these stripes on the legs. Yeah, here you go. And it already looks so Stormtrooper-like. At first I thought this would be a really easy creation, because, well, come on, it's just white and black. But then I saw all these tiny details, and if you take just the same color during the course of the video, or if you take many different colors, at some point it doesn't really make a big difference, because you have to create these tiny details anyway, also with the same color. But, well, with the same color, not everyone will notice each of these tiny details. So these are the protection parts of the palm, well, the back part of the hands, and I really like how the hands look of a Stormtrooper with this protection. This was the part I was looking forward to the most. The chest plate, the chest armor protection thing, also on the back side. I think I even put this thing into the oven for just a few minutes, so that I wouldn't screw up with all the different white parts I already created. These are the shoulder pads, so we will attach them where they belong. And then, look at that, look at the back side. Yeah, we have this very characteristic... Boy, what's that? It's the backpack spot indicator. And it's also so characteristic for Stormtroopers. We have this circle as well. Maybe we should draw another circle on top. And now, what's next? Yes, it's the head. I was a little bit afraid, I was a little bit frightened to create this head. It's difficult, yeah, this is the right word for that. It's really difficult. So let's just have a close look at the Stormtrooper helmet. Where to start? Well, at first I'd say we remove some white clay. These will be the areas where we will later add the eyes to. Then we have these half circles at the side, and we have to take away some more white clay. What a surprise. And then we remove some parts right in the middle, because it looks like some pipes in the face. And, well, it looks like General Akbar in a way. Yeah, probably it's no coincidence that Star Wars characters look the same. If you have a helmet or like an alien, they really feel and look the same. I think that the character designers at Star Wars did that on purpose. So let's remove his front part of the face, like the mouth part. I just added a black layer of clay, and we need some silver stripes, tiny silver stripes. So we remove the lower part, that we can attach the white part again. And now we have to be really careful to get all these different details in the face. This is important, because otherwise it would look like a Stormtrooper. I'm not really sure about the proportions on the head, but I'd say yeah, these eyes are too small. But don't worry, we will change that. I think the whole head should be way longer. It looks a little bit narrow right now. Now he looks like a hippie with this black stripe on the forehead. But it's also a hippie which already looks like a Stormtrooper. Yeah. And it's not that much working steps. And we can place him onto the plate, ready to go into the oven. We have this sleeping mattress, which is rolled on the back side of this creation. Well, I'm not sure what this is, Probably it's also just an energy drink. Who knows? Maybe you know. And we can also play this, plate this, place this. Oh boy. Place this on the plate. Freshly baked. Yes! Let's glue this thing onto his bottom. And we take the transparent polish to give this guy a shiny look the Imperium would be proud of. Yes! Maybe I should make some more transparent polish layers on the white clay. And guys, that's the Stormtrooper.
I wish I could tell you this creation is finished. Well, it's not. Back in the days when I was a child, there was this computer game, Behind the Magic, and within this computer game you could do cruel experiments and weapon tests on Stormtroopers. And I want to rebuild that in one of the next videos. Please let me know, how do you want to see this Stormtrooper be killed? Write it down in the comments. No. I guess that's it for today. Have a great weekend and take care, guys. Bye. I am your creator.